We began working together, doing photographic sessions, performances, and in the year '93 we decided to begin working seriously doing installations, because during the performances we learned that we were more fascinated by the building of the atmosphere. So we began working in these experiments for installations. The topics matched our friendship. We became a family, because despite we were very, very different to each other, there was these three topics that we were working in individually, independently. So we joined our ideas in order to work on that. And that was again human violence, human sexuality, and death. And try to understand all these topics. And Teresa Margolles began working, having a diploma degree as forensic technician. And thanks to her, we began having full access to the Mexico City morgue at the Mexico National University Faculty of Medicine morgue. So we began doing photographic installations like this one with baby heads from Jane Doe's on the streets, people who died in the streets in Mexico City, and there are so many passing away or dying in a violent way in the city that the morgue is always full. And they just take the bodies to the Faculty of Medicine, and there's always like fresh material to work on that. And our ideas were very different. We had to converge in one single idea to present this work, because it was disturbing. It was 1993 in Mexico. There was no internet, there was no nothing, so it was quite disturbing for people. We got a lot of reaction and a lot of fascination as well. So we decided to put aside our individual ideas and converge in this idea, which was to experiment using the human remains and animal remains for aesthetic purposes as prime material. That was it. No more studying of urban violence, no more studying of human sexuality, not as a public statement, as a collective. We respected our individual ideas, but not anymore as a collective. So we gained the chance to be left in peace and not be questioned all the time about our philosophical or religious principles and so on. We began working with animal remains as well. And in 1994, we made the most important installation in conceptual Mexican art ever. The installation was huge, and we used horse carcasses, adults, colts, and heads. And I had the rumor. I was never able to confirm it, but artists like Damien Hirst and this artist, I just cannot recall his name right now, Von Hagens, which doesn't like to be called artist, by the way. We heard that they got the influence towards their work for this installation. I know for sure that Damien Hirst was in Mexico City that year. So for me it's an honor. If it's true, it's an honor. I made animations like the one we saw in 1994. We worked independently, and I joined some other collectives. And we keep working throughout the years. And we started working very deeply with human remains. Like in this installation, we were using dozens of gallons of human fluids from the morgue. That's why it looks like lava, right? Because we have light underneath, and there's a lot of blood and human fat in this liquid. And we started making a lot of different installations with blood, human skin, human hair, molding castings, and human ashes. Like this one is 350 kilograms of human ashes. These oil drums are used in the morgue to boil bodies and get the skeletons for faculties. A collection of human clothing from murdered people, real clothing from rapings, shootings, and so on. In 1997, I made the last installation with the collective, which is this one. It's a cement block with trumpet dogs killed on roads inside the cement as a funerary urn, sort of speak. And I did continue working by myself. And from the year 95 to the year 2000, I was victimized in Mexico City more than 5 times. I don't even recall how many times, probably 7 or more. And I was kidnapped by illegal taxis. I put this picture here so you can understand that in Mexico City there's millions of taxis, and many of them are illegal. They are called pirate cabs. And as soon as you take a cab on the streets, you can get kidnapped. And they beat you and they insult you. If you are a woman, they might rape you and they will take your money from your bank account. And it's terrible, it's horrendous. And with all these experiences, I just thought, I want to go away. I don't want to live in Mexico anymore. So I began looking after my way to escape. But I kept working, and I made the animation we just saw. And I kept painting. And my evolution continued. I was very obsessed, fascinated by human sexuality and human death. And I made a lot of fiction videos, and I began working in charcoal. In the year 2000, I decided to keep going with my investigation, drawing in charcoal in all kinds of sizes, and all kinds of topics regarding human sexuality and human violence. Again, that was my obsession once and again. I made a lot of work, and it was right in the year 2001, after doing all these drawings, when 9/11 happened. And it's obviously I don't have to recall to all of you how that event changed this planet forever. And it was right in 2001 when I was hired by this food processing company. And it was because of 9/11 that we were held. We couldn't come to Canada until the year 2002. And so I came. And I was very happy. I was a happy butcher. I was living a honeymoon with Canada, and I was living a honeymoon with this company. For me, it was a privilege to be here. I was so excited that I was living a sort of drunkenness, sort of speak.